Antonio Pierce and the Las Vegas Raiders completely flipped the script after that loss to the Detroit Lions last year. Like, let's be real. I mean, 24 to was 26 to 14 was the final score, and you could just feel after McDaniels left the team, it was a completely different feeling because they followed that up with a 30-6 win over the Giants. They went on that little streak there, and you can really feel like this team is going to go out there and do something special this year. And I think it's a big reason for that is going to be because you're going to have a top 10 defense in the NFL. Yes, Bleacher Report came out earlier in the offseason, and they said that the Raiders already have a top 10 defense. But so this isn't necessarily that much of a bold prediction, but with where the Raiders are heading, they could very possibly have a top 5, even maybe arguably one of the best defenses in the NFL when it's all said and done under Antonio Pierce. So there's a couple different things to keep in mind here. So last year, they were 9th in points allowed with 19.5 points. 19, they were allowing 19.5 points per game. And that was with Antonio Pierce really during his tenure, specifically as the head coach. They only allowed 16 points a game technically, which is, best in the NFL. They were 12th in passing with 212.4 yards allowed per game and 21st in rushing with 118.5. And I think there's a couple different things you have to think that they're going to be better here because, number one, Christian Wilkins, big boy in the middle. I think he is going to be a fantastic addition to this defense. I think you don't necessarily have him to be your nose. He's going to be your more of your 3-eye, maybe even your 4-tech that you're going to have out there. And I think he's going to do maybe even 2-eye. I think he's going to be a penetrator. I think he's going to give you double-digit sacks in the middle. And I think this is going to be one of the best defensive lines in the entire NFL with Christian Wilkins, Max Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz in a contract year, maybe even getting double-digit sacks. Oh, and Tyree Wilson, the former top 10 overall pick that you got in last year's draft, who I think is going to take an even bigger step in year 2. And so you have all of these things. You have arguably the best defensive line in the NFL. You got Divine Diablo. You've got Tommy Eichenberg, who I believe is actually going to do some really special things for you. A lot of people are really pegging him as really a backup linebacker in the NFL. I think he could really make a case to not only start, but be one of the best run-defending linebackers in the league. Not great in pass coverage. We'll put that out there. But at the end of the day, I mean, if he can just play downhill and do his thing, I think at the worst case, he's a great backup in the league. And I think he's going to do some fantastic things for your run defense. And then also, the secondary, I think DeCameron Richardson, the 4th-round pick that you got in this year's draft, I think he's going to be a name to watch. Plus, I think Trey Taylor, the 7th-round pick, is going to push Marcus Epps for that starting spot opposite of Trayvon Moehrig. So you've got a good secondary. You've got arguably the best defensive line in the NFL that'll make it for everybody else behind him. I really think that, yes, the Raiders already had a top 10 defense in the NFL. Top 5 is definitely more on the table here, and I think that, obviously this team took a big step forward with Aiden O'Connell last year being on the fringe, so close to making the playoffs, but with the top 10, possibly top 5 defense, this team could be absolutely dangerous. But at the end of the day, let us know what you think about the Raiders having a top 10 defense in the NFL. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you on the next video.